Order guide you.
Let the show begin! Jumpy jumpy!
Gather!
La la la! It's getting colder and colder. Rosaria, aren't you freezing?
Me? I'm all right. I got used to operating in adverse conditions a long time ago.
Seems like there's more to being a nun in the Favonius Church than Paimon realized. La la la. Oh, it's revealed.
I will have order.
By royal la la la. Woo! Is that Albedo? Why would he hang around a place like this?
The word on the street is he loves sketching. He'll hang around anywhere for a good landscape. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Sketches everywhere you look.
But can't he see those hilly churros? Isn't he in danger? Uh-oh. Looks like we startled them. Enough talk! Let's take them out of the picture first!
Swing for life.
La la la.
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my sketch. Would have been ashamed to—
What's up with sketching hilly churros? What makes them so interesting?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my sketch, it may give you a clue.
Wow! Look at the detail! But some of it seems to have been done in a hurry.
You can find these hilly churls anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. Not worth closer inspection. But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and there's a distinct force at work here. In the cyclical lives of such primitive communities, such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work. Evolution, the transition from nothing into existence, from the known to the
Hold your horses. Something tells me we're in for a thesis and I haven't got the stamina. We found your man. I'm headed back.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? Hey! What a weirdo.
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her. But back to the point. From her words, it seems that you were looking for me?
Mm-hmm. We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said you were stuck with your research.
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honorary knight. You've got the whole of Mondstadt talking. I've heard a bit of everything. Your actions during Storm Terror's attack, your elemental control, and quite a few other mysterious things. I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. You came from afar. Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, forgive me.
Whoa, you?
You're right. Give it, for example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
You can do that?
However, I have a particular seed in my possession. The method I'm talking, it's like you, in that it hails from another world. Helping it to grow, to bloom, that's the...
Well, if you're struggling to figure it out, Paimon's not sure we're gonna be much assistance.
I beg to differ. I'm unable, but you're not from the known world. By observing and...
Shall we just get out of here? This sounds a little freaky.
Mora, knowledge, and the answer to the question you are seeking. It happens to be an answer that I can provide. How does that sound? Time for a change of surroundings. We should be
Albedo and that traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
Ready, steady, go! A question. After the seed sprouts, will it grow into anything?
I don't know. But I feel the importance will lie in the method, not the endpoint. Using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life into that would constitute a big leap in my understanding of the essence of life. After awakening, even creation may be Still a little difficult to understand?
No, Paimon's got a brain. But what's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting?
Well, if it turns out to be a
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. Another lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. I suppose it's one of the few The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision. Though I can't see anything resembling one on your person, how you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. I've got a few questions in that regard. Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? Fascinating. And this...
What a stupid question. Can't you see the gap between us? And another thing, it's Paimon, not floating child.
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder... Did Paimon guide the element? But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick. Or cause the waterfall south of Springville to flow backwards. No, that definitely can't be it.
Hey! How would you know anyway?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your body and that of the humans in this world. Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in our research, it seems that, firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to examine Let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to defeat them.
Huh? Doesn't
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good experiment. Naturally, if you require a greater challenge, we could bring in 6 Oceanids.
Slimes! Slimes are fine!
Well, prepare yourself.
I will have order. Crumble. I will have order.
Jumpy, dumpy, go! La la la! Blazing delight!
Great work. Did you feel anything? If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external element... Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting
Internal flow.
it's very simple. I can use alchemy. If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this...
Sounds kinda
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel some temporary queasiness. No bodily injury.
And in the abnormal...
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made... Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved. But if there is anything blocking your elemental flow, just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason, that's a bad sign. Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. Before we get started, the potion we'll use for the test is missing a cap. It's a type of ore known as star silver. But I'll take you to my campsite. We can all going to plan. We should be...
Paimon's still got a few safety concerns, but it seems... Let's keep our eyes open.
Stabilize.
Here. Should do for catalyst purposes. This one. Usable with a bit of polish. What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way. This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected to the concoction. While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research. I'm guessing you may have met an...
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data.
Whoa! Look at all the...
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses perhaps. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between... Following this line of thought, I'm...
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. In other words, beings consisting entirely of the elements. A cryoregis vine, or even a whopperflower might be a better analogy. But tracing back the phylogenetic relationships between plants and animals, you might have to trace back to the world's origins. In that sense, things might get...
Yes, sir. That...
After all, we've got our primary data already. If it turned out that he did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world...
Ah, it would. Apologies. Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more. I'll be conducting a...
Great, I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. If all goes well... in line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal... But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural. Perhaps it's just scholarly self-assurance. In conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned, you're no...
Oh, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and everyone understands you. People are the same. They can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same. But a peculiar person, they don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. For example, a human can't understand the life of a... To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Oh, you gave me a lot to consider. Really stretched my limits. I'm thinking a lot clearer now. Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me, but starting with the premise of an elemental life form?
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter, I'd like your research at the fore as opposed to my judgment.
You can count on me, sir.
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's starting to sound like a suck-up. What Paimon meant to say was...
Before we can proceed with our... If you're interested, why not have a look around? It may help to pass the time.
Here comes Albedo! Let's go see him!
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting? Agreed. I'd love... Well, on with the research. There may be significant differences between different worlds. Take Tevat, for example. Here, those with visions can manipulate the elements, but worlds may well exist where only one person is able to do so. Or even everyone. So, leaving elements to one side. I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. No. You shan't be required to exert quite so much. Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it.
You think Paimon knows how to do that stuff?
That was your best effort? Have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean for cooking as such. Rather, channeling your power into the ingredient. I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. Anyway, why don't you cook us up a sunshine sprat? I've just finished preparing the recipe.
Cooking?
Not only is this recipe a staple for me,
Paimon bets you're just hungry. That does sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon up. Good buddies are always on the same page.
I'll leave you to it then. Looking forward to the results. If there's anything left over, maybe Timaeus can finish the last morsels.
Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem. How are we gonna channel elemental power into the food?
That was fast.
Where does it get these ideas from anyway?
That was fast. An average outcome experimentally, but you've really... As far as the proliferation hypothesis is concerned, we've come up short. Seems like food presents the same headaches in your world as it does ours. Unless... Could it be that the natural laws...
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food. It's a little more complicated than...
Not to worry. At least we put some food to good use. No need to... And here's your portion. Enjoy...
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole experiment. Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone...
Hey! You were being nice a second ago. But you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too, right? Good...
Yes. I'm fortunate too, I suppose. There are all manner of alchemical items here. Keeping them in their proper place is a I managed to retrieve the majority, but 2 vials have been evading me. Animal crystal fly elemental extract and electrohypostasis powder.
Paimon's barely finished eating and you want us to go...
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to if you had, I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where...
So, guess we'd better take a look. Oh, yeah! This must be electrohypostasis powder. The extract of an animal crystal fly can only be animal elemental.
Goodness, you managed to find them. I'm wondering, this elemental site, this is what allowed you to locate the items and find...
Yep, guess it does sort of count as a super...
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, it is not unheard of in Teyvat. Only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be of benefit.
You mean, we failed?
Don't be disheartened. This falls entirely within my expectations. I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain elemental traces. Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your In essence, the differences between humans are reflected in our intellectual and physical capabilities. Let's start with physical. Looking out from where we're standing, can you see what Sucrose is doing? And if you jumped from here and landed on that cliff, the one over there. So what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst into a million fragments? Then could you see her? Then I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical test.
La la la. You want us to jump from up here?
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a bet. Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite shore of the lake. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my comparative analysis.
The opposite.
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively, using some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. Others might find the whole thing rather refreshing. No matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. Then if you would, please, I eagerly await the result.
Wait a minute. While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing, emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything. La la la, da da da. Da da da.
Great work. I've never seen a performance quite like it. Your reputation precedes you, traveler. The data show...
But you followed us the whole way without breaking us.
Me? Actually, I used... If it turns out that the natural laws of Tavad do not affect you, I should be able to make various inferences about the otherworldly civilization you belong to. If the natural laws of Tavad do affect you, then I shall be able to make inferences into the kind of the innumerable possibilities that this could present, the captivating insights. It would be...
But how does this help your research?
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. I may be about to make some analogies between you and a few unusual specimens. Gold, petrified trees, a sun 8 times the size of our own. The essence of the investigative process is enthralling, But such feelings are, and I'm willing to pour all my energy into research. And yet, specimens are finite. As the unknown transitions into the realm of scientific understanding, the feeling of enlightenment is lost. All these things that start out as objects of fascination end up possessing the prosaic mundanity of a sunsetia or a sweet flower.
Oh, so that's why you wanted to sketch those hilichurls? Because you got to see something new?
Precisely. To quote my exact words from earlier, these creatures are, for the most part, quite boring, not worth closer inspection.
So after all these experiments, are we gonna...
Of course not. You have been of great assist now. Before we head back to the camp, follow me. There are some other ruins nearby.
La la la. Da da da. Woo! Jumpy Dumpty go! Da da da. Ah! La la la.
I imagine you must have encountered more than a few conundrums during your travels. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your I'd like you to explore these ruins and return with your finding. There are 2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. After completion, you should be able to activate the mechanism in the center. As with the physical test, there are no restrictions. Everything you do is remember that this is a test of intellect. So should you get... So, let's see you in act.
La la la.
It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution. Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places is up to you.
Woo!
will have order.
By royal... Woo! Cleo is a
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
There's still a long road ahead.
Rise! Crumble!
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm looking forward to finding out. Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should be able to see what... What's this? To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. They can be found all over Teyvat, but they've never given up their secrets. There's still a lot to learn about them. And as for why they should... Let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater detail after our research.
Another thing for the don't understand list. Seems like if you want the reward, you gotta...
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Comparatively. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Paimon's kinda looking forward, unless you could...
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
You! You didn't leave the mountain?
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have been up to. I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor. Taking orders from a complete stranger, drinking anonymous potions, participating in all kinds of strange experiments, I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive. Or perhaps, you were colluding from the beginning.
Listen, sister, your guard's so high you can't even see over the top of it!
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But I understand him a little better than... I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy has transformed you into something more.
No way! Paimon would have sensed it! And anyway, he didn't even use any alchemy!
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into Mondstadt.
So, what are you gonna do?
I've gotta hand it to you. You have your moments. If I can be sure that nothing you came into contact with is dangerous, that's good enough for me. I've investigated everything else. The only items left on the agenda are these symbols.
But we don't even know what they mean.
That much is true. But for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. This is now a location of... Now then, all things considered, I deem that you which is what I was hoping. I would have been one very unhappy sister if you'd made me work overtime on your account.
Overtime?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone! So stubborn. Mondstadt doesn't have many people like that. Huh. Never...
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see UA's tourist spots.
The threads of your fate lie in my hands.
Let's finish this, swiftly.
You're back. Good timing. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back? I wouldn't worry. She's just time for the results. We got a myriad of data today, and it was very difficult to finish all the research in one go. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is... you're very much like...
You couldn't tell that just by look? We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you, but in fact, nothing. Have you ever considered that the world of Tevat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders? I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing. The only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar is the seed that I mentioned, but imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
the transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself? It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient...
Paimon thought, with all our efforts, it might have bloomed forever.
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. Its value shouldn't derive from how a short life can be well lived. So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here arguably being...
Things feel a little heavy. Don't be sad. You've got Paimon to look after. Albedo, Paimon really wants to...
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness, your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom. I mean that the time I've spent traveling with you in the mountains was a valuable journey for me. In the future, if the need arises, well, I made a point throughout of telling him how ordinary the results were. But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. What could it mean? Those born of Earth are bound by its imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurities. You and I are alike, both composed of a substance that has yet to be fully defined. If, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, destroy everything, can I rely on you to stop me?
Huh? Look at that. Looks like someone made... Let's see how our...
If only we had help here.
Explosion inside city wall.
Order guide you.
We can do this!
I'll protect us!
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots.
Solidified!
By royal
As you wish, mein Fräulein.
La la la. Da da da. Woo!
Order guide you. Tja.
by royal let's dance.
Stabilize. Order guide you. Tja. Tja.
La la la.
This is order.
By royal decree.
Jumpy, jumpy, go! Woo! Da, da, da.
Oz, reveal thyself.
Gather. I will have order. Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Da, da, da. Woo! Woo! Ah!
Ready, steady, go!
Da, da, da. Pew! Da, da, da. Ah! Da, da, da. Ah! Boing, boing, boing!
Stabilize.
I'll protect us! Blazing delight! Woo!
This will be interesting.
Jumpy, jumpy, go! Da, da, da. Ah, da, da, da. Hi-ya! Boom!
This is order.
Boom!
What's the hurry?
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da.
Let's dance!
These bombs, so heavy.
Let's dance!
These bombs, so heavy. Dodoko? La la la.
Keep your eyes wide open.
Freeze!
Let the show begin.
Rise!
You can run, but you can't hide.
Cool it! Quake!
I'll protect us.
Amateur mistake.
Quake!
Let's dance. Ready, steady, go.
Order guide you! Gather!
Couldn't let your guard down.
Stabilize! Dodge this! Solidify! Freeze!
Bring it on.
I'll protect us.
I will have order! Stabilize!
Ready, steady, go.
So sorry. Couldn't let your guard down.